welcome back to the YouTube channel of Pro Enzo Vidz, and this is the Ankle Breaker Podcast, episode 14. We've got an exciting announcement before against the whole podcast. It's not just me by myself anymore. Joined by a new co-host, and it's a pretty special announcement because I wasn't really sure if I'd get another host on the show, but I've been fortunate enough to get a good friend and another good rising YouTuber in Rugby League Roundup. So Billy, mate, how are you going?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, bro. You all right?
Yeah, I'm not bad. Wait a second. I'll just turn my camera off really quickly.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, just so the two people watching so far, just got a bit of an announcement to make. So so as we know, you can probably tell by the title and everything that I've got a new co-host on the show. That will be Rugby League Roundup. Now, Rugby League Roundup's he's right here, but he's obviously a YouTuber who's on the rise. Obviously, only got a couple of subs. Hopefully over time he keeps growing. So this is part of the reason why I got him on the podcast to be a new co-host, is because I feel like if he joins this, he'll get better over time. You'll get better over time, more, more support, more views for his channel and everything. So I thought, he's a good mate as well. I see him nearly every day at school. So I thought, why not get him on and all that. So, look, Billy, thanks for being the new co-host of the Rugby League, of the Ankle Breaker podcast. Really happy to have you here, mate.
Thank you very much, bro. I am very happy to be on here full time now. So, yeah, hopefully many more good podcasts to come. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. No, look, I'm sure that, I'm sure it's good to have someone else on because, we can both talk about, what things we can bring up for the podcast every week and that. So, it's good to have you on, man. It's good. So, obviously, I've added a couple of new features to the podcast as well. Like I've added these little banners here where it says, the podcast in the episode and all that. So, should be a good podcast, and very privileged to have Billy here. And, next week we'll get a couple more guests on actually because with the footy season about to start up very soon, we'll get a couple more guests on and all that. So it should be a good show, and it should be a good couple of weeks actually. So I reckon it's time to rip in, eh? So you ready, mate?
Yeah, for sure, bro.
All right. So with the first topic, so we're going to be talking about something interesting that the Bulldogs skipper Josh Jackson made. So Bulldogs skipper Josh Jackson says that he has a lot of praise to the Bulldogs' new recruits. Obviously, giving a couple of examples of Pangai Jr., for example, Brent Naden, Josh Adokar, Matt Burden, and all these other players. So obviously, the skipper has high praise for all these new signings coming to the club, and he's saying that they will bring a winning mentality to the club in 2022. Look, I will say quickly before you say your bit, Billy, but I reckon he's got a fair call in saying that because all players have achieved success at Penrith and Storm and all that. But, it is a bit of an open call to make, and we haven't seen it play in action yet. So it's a bit of an interesting call by Jackson there. But, bro, you can go ahead and give your thoughts on that. What do you think about Josh Jackson's comments about the new recruits and bringing a winning mentality?
That's what basically any captain would say about their team. Who wouldn't praise their new players, because if they're gelling well, then they'll probably do well, but we just have to wait and see. So if they're training well and they're praising each other, then they have to show that on the field, because if they're doing this at training, well, we can't see it at training. We can only see it on the NRL field. So yeah, I think it's a fair, like that he wants to praise his players, and obviously who wouldn't do that, but we just haven't seen them play yet, so I don't know what to kind of feel about what he said.
Yeah, just quickly, people are saying in the comments that they can't see my face still, which is a bit annoying because we had a bit of a problem with this in the green room before. I don't know what it is. I mean, I was trying to add a green screen before, but maybe that's part of the problem, when I was trying to edit a green screen and all that, which is a bit silly. I shouldn't do that yet. But anyway, I'll fix it after. But I think it's a fair call he makes because they're players that, like I said, have had success at, other sides like Melbourne, Penrith and all that. But, I think at the same time, it's it's something that we need to see happen in action first. Like, you can talk and praise those players all you want, the new recruits and everything, but you got to see them in action first before we even say anything. So, yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good to see them all come together and gel, because it would be interesting. But then again, we've got to see how they all go on the field, and because I think the trial matches are in a couple of weeks, so I'd say most of those new recruits will be playing in that. So that'll be very interesting to see how that all goes in that. So yeah, it's look, it's a fair call by Jackson. I think he can praise them all he wants, but we need to see how they go very first. And when they play, yeah, unfortunately, screening things really annoying me, so I'll go fix that in a second. But we'll move on to the second topic just quickly. And while you're talking, Billy, I'll just try and fix it. But Manly have apparently signed young Tigers back rower Kelma Tuolagi from 2023 and onwards. The length of his deal hasn't been revealed quite yet. There hasn't been really any saying on how long the contract is. All we know is it's from 2023 and onwards, and that's about it so far. Apparently, he's a good young back rower that some Tigers fans are fuming about letting go, because obviously when Leilua leaves the club, he might be the new back rower replacing him and stuff like that. So, I'm obviously as a Manly fan, I'm pretty happy about the signing. But what are your quick thoughts on it, bro? Because obviously you're the first one to tell me about the signing. So what do you think about it in general?
Oh yeah, well, to be honest, I actually really, really like this signing, because I remember he debuted against the Warriors, and I didn't really mind him when he debuted, and ever since then he's played all right in his 5 games, and he brings strength. He runs the ball pretty hard, and he scored a couple of tries too for a second rower. I haven't seen too much of his defensive side yet, but from what I know, he's very good attacking wise, and I really like this signing for Manly, because if what I'm hearing is like, if Marty Tapau gets moved on, and Kieran Foran will get moved on, and that creates space for him to actually play, because I'm hearing he can also play back row. He can play back row and front row. So if they ever need him, he can play both those positions. Yep. And I really like this signing. It gives this must mean that Schuster will move into the 5'8" in 2023, because it's looking likely like Foran will go. But yeah, my opinion on signing, it's a great signing. He'll bring a lot. He'll bring a lot to Manly, and hopefully get some more game time in 2022, because then he'll come into Manly with a better mindset, and he'll be great, hopefully. 7 out of 10 this signing for me.
Yeah, no doubt. Well said. Yeah, that's pretty well said, actually, how you described that. Look, he's only played 5 games, so it's sort of hard to judge. How he really is as a player. I guess, like you said, more game time will determine what kind of player he really is and all that. But I hope he goes well at the club. Apparently he's a good young player who, like I said, Tigers fans are pretty angry about losing him. So I guess that's it definitely means something if the fans are fuming, because it obviously shows that he is a good player and there's something that he can offer for that Manly team in 2023. So, as a Manly fan, looking forward to seeing how he goes. And I am guessing, when you say that, Billy, that Schuster will go to 5'8". That's probably going to happen, because I think Foran, he's getting a bit older. I think he'll be moved on at the end of the season. Probably to Powell as well. They'll be moved on. So I expect, maybe a back row combination of Olakawatu and maybe Tuolagi as a back row combination for next year. Then you got Schuster at 5'8". Then the props maybe Taniela Paseka and Ethan Bullimore, or Aloye and Bullimore, one of those sort of combinations. So it is a pretty good 4-pack we're building for the future. I reckon it is getting lot younger, a lot more strength. I think a lot of potential. So I'm liking where the club's going with these sort of signings and how they're building and all that. So I am looking forward to seeing how Kelma Tuolagi goes at Manly. But just want to say quickly, Billy, mate, do you see him getting an early release at all? Because we've seen every time mid-year that some players do get released early from their contracts. Whether it's because they're already desperate or more committed to go to a new club or and that. But we've seen it happen a couple of times. So do you see it happening with this situation or not really?
Um, well, it kind of depends on the situation because Tigers don't have that much second rowers, and he may come in any time. And Luke Garner has had a bit of injuries in the past, so yeah, uh, it's just like he may get some game time this year, depending on how injury prone the Tigers players are. But I don't see him
Yeah,
getting an early release. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry about that. Just trying to still figure out how to get the screen back up because I'm just trying to press everything I can to get it working. It's very annoying because this never really happened before, so I don't know what's happening this time. Whether it's a connection thing, I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm not too happy about this. I'm trying to keep the anger in, but anyway, it is what it is. Going to just go with it and all that. So but yeah, anyway, what you said, Billy, I agree with. It depends if I mean, it depends as well because what's it called? Sean Blaw was injured recently, so I guess we have to wait and see if Tuilagi gets any game time because of that. Because I think they'll need a bit of cover up in the back row, so I think that's why they'll probably keep him for this year. And then next year will probably come to Manly. So yeah, good sign I reckon. I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes. Now this is a bit of a bigger topic because it's about the Dolphins and that. So yeah, the Dolphins have apparently made an offer, or reportedly have made an offers to Jeremiah Nanai, the Cowboys back rower, and Broncos outside back Selwyn Cobbo for the 2023 NRL season. Yeah, now I'll ask you quickly about this. Do you see any of them signing with the Dolphins for next year? Because obviously the Dolphins have apparently made more of an approach to Jeremiah Nanai than what's his name, Cobbo instead. So they're more interested in Nanai at this rate. But yeah, like do you see any of them going to the Dolphins, and if if they were to, then like how big of a signings do you think they'll be if they were to go? Like do you think they'll sort of benefit under the benefit factor, or will it take time for players like them? What do you think?
well, I really like that they're going after Selwyn Cobbo. I don't really understand why they're going after Jeremiah Nano though, because they've already got their second rowers. They bought Felice Kafusi and Kenneth Bromwich. The best he's going to get is playing off the bench, and he can probably get that at the Cowboys. So, um, I'd prefer to see Selwyn Cobbo go to the Dolphins, mainly because they don't have any centers, and I reckon he'd go well under Bennett. Um, yeah, I would like to see Selwyn Cobbo go there.
Yeah. Yeah, fair call. I think Broncos will do anything they can to keep Cobbo. Like, personally, I can't really see him going because I think Broncos will make more of an approach to keep him than what the Dolphins will. And I think if Broncos have already embarked at Cobbo as their future fullback and stuff like that, then they're obviously going to make more of an attempt to keep him if he means that much to that club. So I can't really see him going, but Dolphins are already cashed up, so I guess if a club has money like them, then anything's possible, I guess, because money is everything these days. But yeah, with Nanai, I could see him going personally because the Cowboys got Highland Lukey, Ben Condon, and Luciano Lua coming to the club, and all that. So obviously, it's going to kind of lessen and restrict the game time that maybe Nanai gets for the Cowboys. So I can see him going to the Dolphins. That's one I can really see happening. But again, Nanai is he's a young player, so he might have bide his time for a bit. He's only about 18 years old, turning 19 this year, so he's got plenty of time to still play a bit more games for the Cowboys and that. So I reckon give him time, really. And but again, if Dolphins want him and Dolphins want to, throw a bit of good cash at him, then I can really see him going. That's part of the reason why I believe he'll go. But with Cobbo, no, I can't see it happening. I think Broncos will lock him up for a long time, and I really think the Broncos do everything they can to keep him. But we've Selwyn Cobbo quickly, Billy. Do you think he'll be the future fullback for the Broncos, or do you think he'll be testing new? Because obviously, there are two players who are very good, like future players and all that for the club. But do you see what's his name, Cobbo in particular, being the fullback for a very long time, or do you think he'll just play on the wing? Because there's a lot of talk about what position he may play in the future.
Well, first of all, I know I'm hearing that obviously Tessinu is going to play fullback to start round one this year, but they experimented with Tessinu last year, and I thought it worked kind of well. But we haven't seen Selwyn Cobbo play a full season at fullback, and if they want to see if he's a if he's a full time future fullback for the Broncos, they need to see him play one season. And if that doesn't work, then he'll probably play center. But yeah, they need to give him some game time at fullback first before they see who's the future fullback. At the moment, it is Tessinu, but we definitely need to see Cobbo play at the fullback position because I've seen him play in the Queensland Cup and he looks pretty good at fullback, and yeah, it's very exciting to watch. So first, I reckon we just have to see him play a maybe full first grade season at fullback before any decisions made.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. I do agree with that. Now we're nearly at the last topic. I get it, but we're going to try and add in something as well, just to eat up a bit of time. But yeah, Billy, about your Super League predictions I watched the other day. So obviously, you put your Super League predictions out, and I think that most of them were pretty accurate in my opinion. I agree with most of that.
Hey, you got it
I
working.
think oh, it's back. Oh, fuck yes. It's about time.
Finally, yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah. Sorry about that, everyone. I don't know what was happening there, but fuck my fucking laptop and fucking StreamYard shit anyway. Yeah, well, that's good. But yeah, sorry. About your StreamYard. Oh, fuck me. I'm everywhere at the moment. About your Super League ladder prediction. Yeah, you obviously St. Helens at first, which I agree with. You had Castleford, around the bottom, which I expect as well. Yeah, mate. Like, what are some of your reasonings behind your selections? I mean, you have Warrington fourth. Like, why do you have them that low? Because they were a bit higher last year.
Well, with Castleford, honestly, like I'm not like this Super League fan that like watches every game at 2 a.m. because I have school the next morning. But if I get the time, I'll watch the highlights. And honestly, I don't see anyone in their team that's like really a big name. To be honest, I just haven't seen any big names when I looked at the squad the other day. I may change my decision, but for now, I just don't see Castleford doing well. And like with Warrington, I think they'll go extremely well with the halves they have. I'm pretty sure it's Aiden Caesar and is it no, it's not Aiden Caesar. It's Gareth Widdop and someone else, George Williams.
Yeah,
that's
George
the one.
Williams. Yeah,
that's the best halfback. That's the best halves combination I've probably seen. Like that is an amazing combination. Like that's just one of the best combinations in the Super League there, halves wise. And St. Helens is great. It's so much. It's better, obviously, but I'm joking. But obviously biased from me. But like I do think the Warrington is like third or fourth in halves combinations. That's like one of the best halves combinations I've seen for the Super League. Like it's just no doubt. And yeah, I mean, Castleford Tigers fans obviously at school today. You told me that they were very mad. I guess I got
they
into
were.
their heads. I guess I got them. I guess I got into their heads. Them bloody roadmen. So yeah.
Roadmen. Well, just want to ask, like, what made you call them roadmen though? Like, what in particular made you call them roadmen? Like, anything in particular or not?
I have no idea. It's just I saw that definition on like a Sidemen video, and they call each other that. And I searched up the dictionary, and it means like dumb eshe or some shit. But but yeah, I just decided to use it because it just sounds like a perfect definition. And usually I don't.
That was funny. When you said that, I wasn't stick. Yeah, I was actually laughing when I saw that. What's his CJ Moxley says, "Come on the wire." Yep, I reckon the the Wolves will go well this year. Warriors NRL Fanatic says, come on, Hull FC. Yeah, actually, Hull FC are very interesting, actually, because I don't know if you know, Billy, but last year they had heaps of injuries. They had a lot of their key players out. And obviously, they were sort of 50-50 last year. They won some games but lost some games that they maybe should have won. But if they were at full strength, they would have won a lot more games last year. But this year, they've got a bit most of the squad back this year. The only bad thing is that Jay Connor, their fullback, argued one of the most, best Super League players right now to be playing the game. He's going to be out for a bit with a broken hand, I'm pretty sure, or something to do with his hand he broke. But but that's huge. Losing him is not going to help Hull FC. Up the Giants as National Sports Loaded. Yeah, Huddersfield are interesting as well. I mean, I like Huddersfield because they've bought quite a bit. They've recruited pretty well. So I think, depends if any of those players will really cause an impact. Yeah, everyone's laughing at the Roadmen comments. Yeah. Anyway, Super League should be good this year. I'm really looking forward to Super League. I mean, it's unfortunate Friday morning. It's just, I think St. Helens and Catalans play at like 7 o'clock here in Australian time in the morning. So by then I'll be on the bus probably watching it from my phone. I wish I could watch the whole game, but obviously when I'm home later, I can just rewatch the whole game and everything like that. But yeah, bring on the Super League, bring it on. Now we're on to the fifth and final topic now. So look, this will be the last time I'll be asked guests about their side to do the last topic, because obviously now Rugby League Roundup's a new host of the podcast, so obviously changed the fifth topic a bit. But since it's your club, mate, and since obviously the Dragons have recruited quite a bit, and obviously their backline's looking a bit stronger than it was the past couple of years. What's your best backline? One through seven. So obviously, what's your best backline overall? I mean, I've got mine, but as a Dragons fan yourself, like, what's the best backline for the club this year, and what are some of your reasonings behind these selections? Just when you name these players, like, what's your reasoning behind the selections?
Okay, so at the fullback position, I have Tyrell Sloan. On the wings, I have Matt Feagai and Michaela Ravalawa. In the centres, I have Moses Sully and Zach Lomax. And in the halves, I've got Junior Ramon and Ben Hunt.
Yeah, fair call. What makes you have Junior Ramon over Jane Sullivan? Like, anything particular, or?
Well, for me, it's like I think Junior Ramon's got like that Benji Marshall step in his game, and like that kind of talent that Benji Marshall had when he first started, and he represents that running 5'8" position perfectly. And because I think Sullivan's just a genuine halfback, I think he'll be a superstar halfback when he finally gets his turn, and that's why I've basically put Junior there, because that's his position, that's his best position at the 5'8" role, and I think he'll fit that perfectly this year, and I hope he shows it.
Yeah, I agree with that, actually. I think Amon's a great young player. I think James Sullivan's more likely to be a jersey 14 than an actual 5'8". But Moses Zembai signed the club, so I don't know if Moses Zembai would be preferred as a jersey 14 only because he's a new signing and all that. But it'd be interesting to see what Hook goes with there. But I think he will go Amon, like you said. Did you have Ramsey or Fiagi as your other winger? Not Ravalawa, but who did you have as your other winger again?
I had Matt Feeney.
Matt Finger, yeah. All right. What makes you pick him over Cody Ramsey?
Well, I like Cody Ramsey. I've always liked Cody Ramsey since he started. His debut was amazing, but honestly, 2021 was not his year. It was filled with just shock. It was he had a few injuries. I mean, he got his chance at fullback. That was horrible to watch. I mean, he did not help us in attack whatsoever. So, I mean, I'm willing to give him a chance maybe during the season, Cody Ramsey in the middle of the season, if Matt Feeney is not going well. But yeah, I just can't see it after the season he had. It was quite shocking. So Yeah, I can give him a second chance only because he's young. But if he does that again, Cody Ramsey, he might be on the chopping block and maybe out of the squad by the end of 2022.
See, I don't want to sound harsh or anything, but I think Cody Ramsey is a bit like Charlie Staines, both very similar players because one, they have a very good debut season back in 2020, and both of them scored heaps of tries and were both very impressive. But another reason why I think they're both similar in a bad way is because, both of them are very inconsistent, both of them can't defend. I like Ramsey. I don't think he's a bad player, but his defense is obviously a bit bad. And I think, Anthony Griffin as a coach is more of a defensive sort of coach who likes to base his game off defense. So if Ramsey's going to be part of that, then he has to really, fix his defense up and make his tackles this year because I think the pressure's on him and I don't think, he'll be able to hold his spot for very long if he, continues to have the defensive issues and all that. Look, I would start with Ramsey only because I haven't really seen much of Fiagi, or Figo, however you say his last name. But I think both Figo twins, Matt and Max will both be with the Dragons in the future, and I'm keen to see how both of them go. But yeah, that's a good point. I think you make a good point there with Fiagi being there instead. Just quickly, Luke says, who's faster, Xavier Coates or Jason Saab? Oh, fuck, I don't even know. Hey, that's a very tough question. I would say maybe Saab, I think, just because I think, Saab looks a bit more quicker when I've seen him in open space than Coates, but that's very debatable at the moment. National sports loads, wouldn't Bird at lock. I don't like that. No, I don't like Bird at lock, actually. I don't think he's going to handle the middle. Look, he had a really good year last year playing the forwards in the back row, but look, he's made more tackles in the middle. He's doing a lot more in the middle, so I wouldn't want to put that pressure, especially after more of an injury-free season last year. If I was Dragons, either start him in the back row or put him off the bench. That's really where he should be.
Yeah, he'll probably go off the bench.
Yeah, off the bench. I wouldn't mind that either, but yeah, Nick says Jack Bird at 5'8". Yeah, well, he has the same speed again, but that wouldn't be a bad shout. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, with my Dragons backline now, I've got Tyrell Sloan at fullback, like you said. I think Sloan's the future. Just re-signed, so I think he'll be definitely the starting fullback. The wingers are going to be Ramsey and Ravalawa. Now, I've still got faith in Ramsey. As a player, I know he had a couple of bad games last year, but I think he will start the season still. And Ravalawa was pretty obvious because Ravalawa was probably the best winger at the club, in my opinion. So I think, he will definitely be starting. The centers will be Moses Sully and Zach Lomax. Yeah, Moses Sully's obviously he's been signed to be starting, so I think he'll definitely go well, and I think he'll be a good pickup. I know that at Manly, he didn't get much game time, but that's because Parker and Morgan Harper were both playing. They were the two players that were in our winning side every week, so there's no need to really change that center pairing up. So. I guess now Sully gets a chance at Dragons, get more game time, which he deserves. So good on him and hope he goes well. And Zach Lomax is pretty obvious. Lomax he's always going to be the starting center for the Dragons. A great goal kicker too, so he should be there. And now the halves get interesting because, obviously there's a lot of talk about who's a 5'8", if he's departed with Ben Hunt. I've got Tyler Taumoni or Junior Amon. I've got them two. I got him as the 5'8", partnering with Ben Hunt. I think those two will go really well. And I think that's something that the Dragons fans could look forward to next year is how Amon goes with Hunt. I think that has potential to be something good. So, look, the Dragons' backline has definitely improved a lot. I will say that it looks a lot stronger than what it has in the last couple of years. That's just in my opinion, though. And I really do like where the Dragons are going for next year, this year, I should say. So, hopefully they go well. Right, bro. I think this ends the podcast. But just want to say to everyone, sorry for the no camera delay. I know that was really not good. It was a bit embarrassing, so I'm really sorry about that. I thought because I was trying to add a green screen, because I was trying to add the actual thumbnail as the background of this, podcast. But yeah, do that next time. Don't do it now when it's like a couple of minutes to go to start. So that's my mistake there. I take responsibility for that, unfortunately. But look, obviously it's great to have you as the other co-host of Rugby League Roundup. I'm really happy to have you on as the second host of the show. I thought, having you on the show would make sense because obviously you're you're a YouTuber on the rise, and obviously, I think if I had you on this podcast, your channel will be a lot more known to other people, and you'll get a bit bigger as a channel overall in general. So that's why I thought it'd be a good idea you on. But yeah, bro. Thanks again. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Hopefully, more good podcasts to come, lads.
Oh yeah, for sure. It should be. It should be. Next Monday we'll be back again, sitting here again. Hopefully with hopefully with my camera working and everything like that. So next week we'll try and get a couple of guests on. Because obviously the NRL season's not far away from starting, so we'll try and get a lot more guests to come on and make the podcast a bit more bigger this year in 2022. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the very next one. So yeah, see you very soon. Thanks for watching.